Firearm deer season is right around the corner. Every hunter in the UP is fired up like a kid waiting for Christmas. Hunters use a variety of tools for deer hunting, including masking scents, doe scents, decoys, rattling antlers, grunt calls, doe bleats, snorters, wheezers, and a wealth of other products designed to maximize our odds of bagging a buck. Is it possible we've overlooked one of the most valuable tools we could add to our collection? Something that would help show us where the deer should be and in turn where we should be? I met with Cameron Fees of Greenstone Mapping to find out how maps can help put us in the right place at the right time.
Greenstone Mapping is a GIS consulting firm. So what that means is GIS stands for Geographic Information Systems, and it's basically a way of spatially managing natural resource data. Part of what comes with that is being able to create mapping products for sportsmen. So hunters, fishermen, people who are land managers or land owners, there's different products available out there. For the deer hunters out there, there are some great opportunities that really are underutilized as far as finding just the right habitat for deer with different seasons. So the first example I'll use is the whole UP has been mapped for soils. So they're maps, they're digital maps that fit over an aerial photo, and they show what the features are for each of those individual soil units that are out there. And one of those features that they talk about happen to be expected stand species over it. So if you're looking at a large parcel that's far away from roads and far away from trails, then you can pick out the individual soil units that you would expect to have oak and acorns on it. So if you have a little island of oaks, so a bedrock outcrop that has a bunch of oaks on it, in the middle of a wetland or a big stand of hard maple, then there's an excellent chance you're going to see or find deer moving into those areas. With the same idea, you get a late season for black powder. So often what you find in the Lake Superior watershed, at least, is you get major numbers of deer migrating south out of the Lake Superior watershed, south into some of these areas that happen to have very large stands of cedar or spruce wetlands. So with soils, you can look and you can figure out exactly where would you expect to find these large stands that are going to be deer yards during the winter. So as long as we get heavy snows up north early in the year, you can expect those deer are going to migrate quick and be down there by the time that comes for the still hunter that wants to hike off trail and find some of these areas. Custom maps are pretty important. When you're in a huge stand of cedar, it gets pretty difficult to find your way out sometimes, kind of like the grouse woods in October, a little difficult. For the individual who happens to own their own land and is actively managing it to attract wildlife and bring wildlife out of surrounding state or federal or other private lands, food plots are kind of an important feature there. But it's difficult to pick exactly where food plots are going to go without proper conservation planning. That's a lot of what the mapping services can provide. They can show you the information within the soils series of what that food plot is going to be capable of growing and how it's going to work. Some of this custom mapping can also allow you to lay out your landscape and pick where are going to be these major travel corridors for wildlife and where can you pull them in. If they're close by, food plots are close by these major travel corridors, there's a great chance you're going to be able to bring the wildlife in and attract them for a period of time. And that's where you can't really get that feel from being on the ground nearly as easy if you get an overhead bird's eye view and be able to really look at your landscape, look at your property, and evaluate what potential it has out there. So an important planning tool when that time comes for where a food plot's going to be located, where are trails or paths that are going to be planted with clover maybe, or that are going to be planted with something to bring wildlife in, and where do you want to place your stand or your hiking trails. If you're managing a piece of land specifically to be able to hunt and fish on it, you want to make sure and maximize the potential that that land has to offer. One of the easiest ways that we can map your property would be just displaying it on a wall map. So it's kind of nice when you come into camp after hunting for the day to be able to get a real good picture of where you were at. Where are the wetlands, where are the hardwoods, where are the trails, where are the stands. So it could be as simple as an aerial photo on a poster size, so 18 by 24 or 24 inches by 36 inches, printed out on your map, on your wall. It can be that simple and easy. We could also go more in depth, so if you want digital trails marked over the aerial photo, we could look at topographic lines, so digital topo lines. You could also look at where are your stands. Your stand locations could be marked, or your shooting lanes could be marked. Distances can be calculated, acreages can be calculated. It gives you a good ability to spread out. If you have a larger piece of land and you have a bunch of people who are going to be hunting on it, it gives you a good ability to spread those people out and figure out right where they should be to maximize the land that you have for the number of hunters. Some people find it most useful to have a printed out wall map. Some people find it useful to bring it into the field. So the United States Geologic Survey topographic quads are created at 1 to 24,000. There are a lot of tools available out there created for the scale of 1 to 24,000 when map reading in the field. So you might have some tools which allow you to actually figure out exactly the coordinates for one point of where you're at. You might also have some tools that are designed to be able to calculate acreage. So you might say that stand of oak is going to be 48 acres based on the tools. These tools have been created for that scale. The format could be a book format, so you have a large area that can then be thrown in a backpack and wherever you go, it goes with you.